In a world where stories are the essence of life, what if you could be part of creating the next great tale? Introducing Storybook, a community where your imagination comes to life. A place where writers, readers, and dreamers unite to create something extraordinary. With Storybook, your ideas, your stories, and your characters are more than just thoughts. They become part of a larger narrative. Less than 1 billion Storybook tokens are powered by the Ton blockchain. By holding book tokens, you gain the power to pitch ideas, give input, and even become a character in the stories you help create. Submit your stories, collaborate with other talented writers, and see your work come to life. Storybook isn't just about storytelling. It's about making your mark in a community that values creativity and innovation. From anthologies to graphic novels, from films to community-driven magazines, Storybook is where your ideas take flight and where your voice is heard. Become part of a movement where your creativity shapes the future of storytelling. Welcome to Storybook, a community where stories come to life.
That's really and all of us.
This is Storybook Radio.
The bright summer day had faded into an unsettling twilight. A crimson sky stretched ominously above the sprawling suburban neighborhood of Elmridge Hollow. It looked like the American dream, a winding maze of identical homes, manicured lawns, and white picket fences, but something about it never sat quite right with Jamal Lewis. A tall man in his late 30s with a calm but commanding presence, Jamal carried himself with quiet strength. His short fade was neat, his jaw sharp, but his eyes, deep brown and expressive, always softened his features. He was a man of conviction and compassion, with a sense of loyalty that ran deeper than blood. He and his wife Lisa had moved into the cul-de-sac just 3 months ago, right in time for their son Jaden's 5th birthday. Balloons from that day still floated gently in the corners of the living room, their once bright colors now faded, swaying like silent ghosts. There had been laughter, gifts, neighbors bringing over pies and firm handshakes. But behind every smile was something hidden. Whispers. Jamal had first heard them at the local coffee shop. Lisa had caught them too, rumors from the hairstylist down the street. Everyone in Elmridge Hollow knew the legend, a being named Aether, said to dwell just beyond reality's veil, an ancient, cruel demigod who pulled families into a shadow realm, a place not bound by time or reason. There, it posed impossible choices, and once summoned, Aether never left empty-handed. Urban legend, they thought. Stories meant to keep kids indoors after dark. Still, on windless nights, Jamal sometimes heard a low, strange hum behind the walls, like something watching, waiting. Then came the night that changed everything. They had just finished dinner. Jamal stood at the sink, rinsing dishes. He watched Jaden dart through the dining room, giggling in a paper crown from his birthday party. The boy was a bundle of joy and motion, short, slender, with big brown eyes full of wonder and curly hair that defied combs and gravity alike. He had Lisa's expressive face and Jamal's dimpled smile, and his laughter filled the room like sunlight. Lisa leaned against the doorway, wineglass in hand, her petite frame glowing in the kitchen light. Her long box braids were pulled back loosely, and her eyes, hazel and perceptive, watched Jaden with pride. A former trauma nurse turned doula, Lisa had always been a steady soul. She radiated the calm of someone who had seen death and chosen life every time. For a moment, Jamal felt the weight of gratitude. His family was whole. His life was simple. It was perfect. The lights flickered. "Did you pay the bill?" Lisa teased with a raised brow. Jamal chuckled. "Of course. I even set it to autopay." The bulbs flickered again, then went out. Darkness fell like a curtain. "Okay, not funny anymore," Lisa murmured, her voice low, unsure. Jamal turned from the sink. "Stay with Jaden. I'll check the breaker." Then came the hum, low, primal, not from the walls, but inside them. The air grew heavy and thick, like trying to breathe through honey. Lisa's wineglass slipped from her hand and shattered on the floor. Jaden froze mid-run, his crown toppling off his head. "Daddy," he whispered, "there's someone in the walls." Jamal blinked, and the world shattered. He stood on cracked stone at the edge of a towering cliff. Beneath his feet, The earth was scorched and lifeless. A crimson sky churned above, thick with swirling clouds and an unnatural light that burned the eyes. There was no wind, no birds, no sound, except a distant whisper and a scream. "Jamal!" Lisa's voice tore across the abyss. He turned and saw her, clinging to the edge of the cliff, her fingernails dug into the dirt as her legs kicked above nothingness. Wind whipped her braids around her face. Her eyes, wide with terror, locked on his. "Help me!" she sobbed. "Jamal, please!" Then, "Daddy!" Jamal spun. On the opposite side of the cliff, Jaden clung to a crumbling ledge. His small hands were bloodied, his face streaked with tears. "Daddy, I'm slipping!" Jamal's heart stopped. He stood frozen between them, Lisa on one side, Jaden on the other, both slipping, both begging. Then came the voice. Not human, not even alive. It rumbled from deep within the stone, vibrating in his bones. "Choose. Only one returns with you." Jamal dropped to his knees. "No," he whispered. "No, please. Please don't do this." Lisa's voice broke with desperation. "Jamal, grab me. We can have another baby. We can try again. Don't let me die." His eyes flooded with tears. They had spent 7 painful years trying to conceive. Endless fertility treatments, miscarriages, grief. Lisa had always kept faith. They both had. Until finally, Jaden was born, their miracle. But Lisa had been there from the start. She was his partner, his anchor, the woman God had given him to walk through life with. Her belief had kept him grounded. Could he really let her fall? Then he looked to Jaden, his son, his legacy. The boy who called him Super Dad, who danced in paper crowns and believed his father could fix anything. "God," Jamal whispered, sobbing, help me see." The voice rumbled again. "Only one. Choose now or lose both." Lisa's eyes were wild. "Jamal, you promised me forever. You can't let me die here." Jaden's voice cracked through the air. "I don't want to go, Daddy. I don't want to fall." Jamal's body trembled. His lungs burned. His soul screamed. "Take me instead," he pleaded to the sky. "Please, take me." Silence. That wasn't an option. He looked at Lisa, then Jaden. "You're my wife," Jamal said softly, stepping toward her. "God gave me you." "But he's our son," she cried. "We can have another—" "Not him," Jamal snapped. "There will never be another him." Lisa's eyes widened. Her grip slipped. "Jamal!" Then Jaden's scream tore through him. "Daddy, I'm slipping." Jamal turned. Blood ran down Jaden's arms. One hand lost its grip. "No!" he screamed, running toward him. He dove to the cliff's edge, his body stretched out, hand reaching. And he caught a wrist. A tiny wrist. "I got you!" Jamal yelled, tears blinding him. "I got you!" Behind him, a scream rang out. "Lisa." It echoed across the abyss like a dying star, high, sharp, and endless, until it faded into silence. He didn't look back. Jamal pulled Jaden up with everything he had. They collapsed on the cliff, father and son, trembling, sobbing. "I got you," he whispered over and over. "I got you." And then, everything blinked. They were back. The kitchen lights flickered. The glass from Lisa's wine lay shattered on the floor. Jamal sat trembling on the hardwood, Jaden wrapped in his arms, sobbing into his shirt. But Lisa was gone, not missing, erased. The wedding photo on the mantel now showed only Jamal and Jaden. The balloons still floated, but the woman who made their home a home was nowhere. "Lisa?" Jamal called, his voice small. No reply. He searched every room, every corner, called the police. They asked if he'd been drinking. They didn't believe him. Maybe he didn't believe himself. Weeks passed, then months. Neighbors returned to normal. The whispers stopped, but some still avoided Jamal's eyes, as if they knew. Jaden hardly spoke. At night, he crawled into Jamal's bed and clung to his chest. "Daddy?" he whispered one night. "Was Mommy real?" Jamal closed his eyes, forcing back tears. "Yes, baby," he said. "She was the most real thing in the world." The crimson sky was gone. The world seemed normal again. But Jamal knew Aether was real, and somewhere beyond the veil, his wife was still screaming. Time did not pass in the realm where Lisa landed, if it could be called time at all. She fell screaming, not through space but through grief, a long, soundless plunge that stretched on until there was nothing but stillness. When she awoke, she lay on a stone floor beneath a sky that pulsed a dull, angry red. No wind, no sound, only the breath of the universe rising and falling like the slow inhale of something watching. She stood shakily, barefoot and disoriented. Her surroundings looked like a warped reflection of the cliff. Towering black spires loomed in the distance. Shadows slithered with sentience. And at the center of it all stood Aether, the one they had all whispered about. He was neither god nor man. His face was stone, his eyes endless pits of dusk. Aether moved like smoke, weightless but undeniable. His voice echoed before it left his mouth. "You were chosen." Lisa's fists clenched. "You stole my life." "No," he replied. "Your husband chose it." Pain flared through her chest, but she said nothing. She had made her plea. She had begged. He had looked into her eyes and turned away. "Why am I here?" she whispered. Aether raised a pale, clawed hand, and the sky split like torn fabric. A window opened in the sky. She saw Jamal, alive, older now, a little gray in his beard. He sat on a porch swing beside a woman Lisa didn't recognize. A gentle, kind-looking woman with her hand nestled into his. Jaden was older too, playing with a dog in the yard. They were laughing. Lisa's heart cracked. "He remarried," she murmured. "He healed," Aether said simply. Lisa's fists trembled. "He forgot me." "No, he lived. That is not the same." Then Aether waved once more, and the sky shifted again. This time, the image was darker. Jamal sat alone at a bar, glass after glass draining before him. His eyes were hollow. Jaden, now a teenager, watched helplessly from a corner booth. Lisa gasped as the scene changed again. A car, rain, headlights, screeching tires, a twisted metal frame on the side of a highway. Jamal, motionless behind the wheel. "No! Stop!" she cried out. "What are you showing me?" "You are not done," Aether said. "He was given a choice. Now, so are you." Lisa turned toward the demigod. "What do you mean?" Aether's eyes glinted like obsidian knives. "You may choose his ending." Lisa staggered backward. "You want me to decide how his life ends?" "Not exactly," Aether said. "I want to know what love can withstand." She turned toward the first vision, Jamal, peaceful, older, hands intertwined with someone else's. Could she let him go? Could she watch him build something new? Then she turned to the second, a man undone, a life broken. "You want me to punish him?" "I want a decision," said Aether. "Define love. Is it a claim or a gift?" Lisa closed her eyes, and then she made her decision.